Good morning. So I was out here in my garden and I'm looking around and I'm just looking at everything and thinking, gosh, some things really are just looking terrible. And I think it's time that I kind of take a look around and start handling or dealing with the things that are starting to die off, or at least thinning them out a little bit. So that is what I'm going to do. I have already started with the tomatoes. So let me show you what I've done so far. These are all just dead tomato leaves here. And I started with these couple of tomatoes over here. Just as you can see, I've thinned them out a lot. Now, I am having a problem with something coming in here and eating my tomatoes, so I have just decided to take these ones because they have blushed. At least 50% of the tomato is blushed. So I'm gonna take all the tomatoes that look like this. I am worried a little bit, like it's not a big deal, but because whatever's eating the tomatoes, a lot of them have dropped to the ground, and so I have a feeling I'm gonna have quite a few volunteers in this area, which next growing season I'm not going to be planting tomatoes in this box. So I think I will be doing a lot of pulling, which is fine. But as you can see, a lot of the tomatoes just kind of have fallen off. So I'm gonna get to finishing up these tomatoes, and then I also think what I'm going to do is start some seeds. Now, this one I've kind of struggled with. I was going to plant some of the bean seeds just directly in the ground next to the tomato plants, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start them outside here, of course, but in little pots. That way they get the water that they need when I turn on the water, they get the sun, all that stuff. But when I go to get rid of these tomatoes, if I don't just cut the tomato off and I pull the whole root ball, which I probably will do, it doesn't disturb the new plants that I'm planting. So I was gonna do something. Oh yeah, so I'm going to get to the rest of these tomatoes over here before moving on. Now I hope that this will accomplish thinning out some of these tomatoes so that they have better airflow and maybe I get more growth, because I just have not been having the best luck with growing a bunch of tomatoes. Like each tomato plant that I have here besides the cherry tomatoes has maybe produced 5 tomatoes, and so I'm just not quite sure what's going on there. It could be a pollination issue because I haven't seen many bees in my garden this year. I don't know, but I hope to share with you in future videos some canning projects. I hope my beans start producing a lot of beans, and I hope that that is something that you will stick around for. I think what's actually going on with these tomatoes is that the sun is just too intense. Now I know tomatoes and peppers for that matter love the sun, but the sun where I live is way too intense, and I would say my garden probably gets at least 8 to 10 hours of sun a day. And I think that's just a little bit too much. So I'm gonna look into possibly seeing about getting some sort of shade cloth for my garden. I don't know how I would get it to work so that it would be tall enough, but I'm gonna definitely look into it because I think that's the biggest problem that I'm dealing with. I think a lot of the reason why these plants are dying is because it's just too hot. I don't see any disease on them. It's just the sun beating down on the leaves, and the leaves are just dying. I'm seeing it also with my flowers right now because we are continuously having at least 100-degree weather every day, and it's been that way for the last, I would say, 2 weeks or more. So that is what I think is going on. But now that that is done, I am going to just clean up this mess a little bit, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and see if I have any new things that I can harvest besides tomatoes, like maybe some of my squashes, and just see what else I have going on in the garden before I plant some bean seeds. And I did rip out 3 plants that were just completely dead all the way. All right, so I have a butternut squash in here that I am pretty sure is ready because it's been in here for a while. And like I said in a previous video, the tundral that is on here is gone. So I'm gonna get my clippers and I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna clip this thing right here at the crotch, giving it about an inch or so at the stem because I want this to be for, oh, worm, long-term storage. Oh, I got ants all over me, but I'm gonna put that right there. And then I have a melon here and I don't know if it's ready. The skin is like changing in some spots, but I don't know. I don't see a tundral here on this, and I don't want to pick it too early because that would be wasteful, but then I don't want to leave it for some little critter to munch on. So I think I'll just leave that for now. And I know I have another one here. And that one is still green. So I think I will leave those. And then I have this one. I've never grown this variety. This is called like a salmon squash. And I think this might be more of a spaghetti type squash, but I don't think that is ready because this is not dry and dead yet. So I'm gonna leave that. And then I have another one here. Let's see. Oh, and look at my zucchinis. And I like that, how when I pulled it up like that, it just really went crazy. But I have, you can tell I have a whole bunch of little baby butternut squash here. I am going to just, any that are dead, I'm just going to pull those off because there's no point in having them on the plant. And then I have this one here, which there's that tendril. So I'm going to cut that one and set it aside. Let's see. Oh, and I have another one of those salmon squash over here. Right there. Take that off. Okay. And I don't know if you remember or if watched my video of when I came back from my road trip about how my beans and everything had been eaten completely down. Well, they have made a beautiful recovery. If you see here, this has recovered nicely. Lots of flowers, but I am just not seeing any beans on here. So I don't know what's that all about, but I should be getting beans, you would think. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on these. And the other ones that are over there are doing really well also. Some of these I did plant when I got back. But I think that's it for harvest. Now I'm going to head into the greenhouse and I'm going to plant some bean seeds really quick. And then should be good for the day. I do want to show you a couple of these tomatoes that I found are massive, but this plant only has like, I already picked one, but it wasn't nearly as big as these ones, but only 4 tomatoes on this massive plant here. This plant here, but look at these. There they are. Those are going to be lovely tomatoes for a BLT or a sandwich or something. All right, I'm going to plant some Blue Lake and some Provider beans. And I'm just going to get these little containers filled up with soil. I'm going to do, I don't know, 10, 12. of them. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands and then I need to find a pen. Actually, let's see if this one will work. And then put Blue Look. Think I'll remember what BL means? Probably not. Blue Lake. Okay, I'm going to get these all labeled up and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to protect them outside. Because yeah, something's out there just digging around in my garden. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my little seedlings or my seeds, not seedlings yet, and put them in groups of 4. Probably should do more. And then take one of my little baskets and cover them up in this empty planter box. Okay, I am going to be starting my fall crop seeds here pretty shortly. I will take you along when I start doing that. I have a different plan for them though as far as seed starting. I have a lady shed, she shed, lady cave that has been emptied out for the most part, and I think I'm going to use that as my grow room because I can control the temperature in there a little bit better than in the greenhouse, and it might just be too hot in the greenhouse for seed starting. So I'm going to convert that into a little grow area room. So that's exciting, but for now I am done doing what I'm doing here in the garden. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you again soon. Bye.